Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Thankful Thursday. Turning the mic over to you, Sharon, Lorri, Mickey, anybody who picks it up.
Is Dove here today, or you don't know yet?
Dove's not here yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Okay, good morning. Good morning. I said hi to everybody in the room, but I will say it again for the purposes of YouTube. Sharon, Lynn, there's Dove, Mickey, and Bob. And we are on lesson 317. I follow in the way appointed me. When I saw the title of this lesson, I thought, oh, good, because I've been all about surrender lately. Surrender, surrender, surrender. I don't know anything. Emptying out and getting out of the way. And that feels really, really good. And I look at all the ways that I've controlled my life, and it's like the 12-step groups. Your best thinking got you here. And so, okay, I'm resigning now as my own teacher, right? Okay, I follow in the way appointed me. Lesson 317. Ken's commentary begins with, this lesson is of great importance, and its theme is echoed in two lessons that we will see in the next series. I follow in the way appointed me means I do not want to be first. As one of these later lessons says, I choose the second place to gain the first. At the beginning, we told God, I am first cause and you follow me. I have the power and I am in charge. And that makes me laugh because I think of little kids. That's what they're always saying. No, I do it. No, I do it. And the other day, I was doing these spelling cards with this little puzzle with pictures on it of easy words like shoe and kite and dog and cat and bike and bug. So I had been doing it with my 3-year-old granddaughter. And then she'd put them together. She'd put the puzzle pieces together. And then I would say, oh, okay, spell after me, BIKE, and she would do it. And we did it. We did a bunch of them that way. And then finally she did bug, and she was like, get out of the way. She waved me off with her hand. No, I do it. And to spell bug, she went PRT. And then she had this big smile on her face, so proud. And isn't that like we are with our world? We are so proud of the crap that we have created, the mess that we've created, and we take pride in it. And one of the things I noticed in a meditation last week that I hadn't don't think I saw before, but sometimes you have the same insight and it feels brand new. But I noticed in my meditation that I wanted to tell the story of overcoming. Like I had gone through this big difficulty in my life, and I wanted to tell the story because I was proud of overcoming it. And I thought, whoa, that is ego. Huh. Well, could I let go of wanting to tell that story? So I used that Sedona method line. Could I let that go all the time? Could I let go of wanting to tell that story? Could I let go of wanting to be prideful of what I made, the crap I made, and then, oh, I overcame it. But that was that was an eye opener. And so I'm grateful for this lesson. Ken continues, this belief that I have the power and I am in charge is the motivation behind the mantra found in some New Age circles, I am God. None of us wants to follow, for we want to be number one. In this lesson, therefore, Jesus brings us back to the humility we must practice as students of his course. I will follow the way my teacher instructs so I can come to God, who is my creator. I am not his, he is mine. And this has also been feeling really strong for me as I remember reading in the course with the lesson, I am as God created me, that this lesson will mean far more to you as you go along. And it has become so important. so heartfelt and so real that anytime I have any difficulties or I'm looking back on my quote unquote life, which I keep saying it never happened. There's no my life. There's no my past. There's no my future. There's no my life. There's only life. But every time I do that, and if I get caught up in it, I just breathe and go into the silence. And I am as God created me. And that is so beautiful and so loving. And it just is so restorative. So, good morning, Sally. So, with that, I'm just going to turn this over to Sharon now.
Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Dove. Good morning, Sally, Mickey, Robert, Lynn, and who did I miss that I can't see on the screen? If I did, hello. This is a really good lesson for humility. When I look at, a lot of the Eastern teachings say we are God. And yet, of course, in miracles, we'll say we're God's son. We're not God because we didn't create ourselves. And yet, for the most part, if we're a soul, we're still in formless being. So we are part of God. We are a kaleidoscope of different seeming beings out there that are all trying to wake up when we're already up. Because there's nothing here but presence, right? But I do feel that it's very interesting that he put this in here. I will follow the way my teacher instructs, because you want to come to your creator. You're not the creator. We didn't create ourselves. We have no idea what that even means. In fact, I don't have any idea what anything means anymore. It's kind of to a point where I started to realize that everything I thought I knew was just a bunch of concepts and they didn't mean much, right? So yesterday I had an interesting thing, and it's still going on, but I'm trying to look at it, and maybe somebody on here has heard of it. It's called burning mouth syndrome. And it started about a week ago, but it's come into full blast like yesterday. And it's just this soreness in your gums and and I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm thinking, wait, if this is Sharon's problem, then it's really not my problem, right? I'm going to watch it. And that's what I did. And I'll tell you, when you don't put your attention on the ego, even if it does hurt, because it does hurt, it hurts to eat, it hurts to eat certain foods. It's like ulcers in your mouth. And it's that the latest information is that if you got a COVID booster, which I did 6 weeks ago, this could be a reaction from it. So normally I would be like a real angry, how could I believe they did what they did, that. And all of that is all of the ego's thoughts. And I really have to teach myself, I'm not this mind. This mind is nothing but concepts of meaningless thoughts. And yes, when I was waking up, I went through all of, and still am, going through all of the things that we all go through, because there's only one mind here. There's only one being waking up. I think what was interesting in spiritual groups is how important it is that everybody wants to wake up. Everybody wants to be what they are when they're already what they are, right? Including me. If I have I heard Keith Kavanaugh say that people get sick and then they blame themselves. And he finds that to be actually very tragic for the person, because the person's not there. The thing that happens to you happens through you from all of us. And you can't have guilt if you get sick or anything, because you're not making up your personal story. It's a story of oneness that's waking up. So the importance of realizing that, yes, I'm part of God, which we all know even on this planet, but I am not creating, Now, do I create my thoughts? Well, that's a whole different thing. We get stuck on these thoughts and believe they're our thoughts. But the thoughts are really just coming in from the universe. We all share the thoughts. It's just so interesting to not know anything, to really get to a place where it's like, so I have an opinion, I have a point of view, and I want to be known for that. Why? Well, the only thing I could come up with is because I want to be heard, I want to be important, I want to be special. So here he says, I have a special place to fill a role for me. Here we can see another example of Jesus using the word special for the Holy Spirit. So you can turn to specialness through spirit, because that is special. Special to see that you're really God or part of God, or you're not in form, and that you fell asleep and you thought you were this person, and that all these stories that you're a soul and you're Jewish or you're Catholic or you're whatever, Muslim, whatever you are, all of it is just that, a story, right? So he says, here where the laws of God do not prevail in perfect form, can he yet do one perfect thing and make one perfect choice? Under the act of special faithfulness to one perceived as other than himself. He learns the gift was given to him, and so they must be one. It's a gift from our Father. This is who we are. We are formless. Yes, there's a voice talking, and the voice is talking, and it looks like it's me. And it has a bunch of memories. But that's all I've ever been looking at, have been my memories. And, it's funny, in the political scene, I think a lot of us just judge who we like and who we don't like by the person we are, right? Or what we grew up with, or the fairness that we think should happen, or whatever. But all of that is just made up as a story to divide us. And, they keep blaming the president right now that he has divided us, but we've been divided our whole lives. We're divided as soon as we think that we are a person, And to abandon the person, it comes kind of like a organic thing. Like I was thinking, well, I just keep coming back and not doing it right and listening to the ego and that doesn't matter. That's all ego. The spirit has our back. And it doesn't matter if you have completely become, like I said to Lynn the other day, Michael Singer, who I feel went all the way. But if he did go all the way, and he teaches to try to bring us to where he is, and that's a great instruction, but yet it's not our destiny, because our destiny is always about what's our curriculum. Our curriculum, what was the curriculum that we made up for us to wake up? It's not personal, it's impersonal, but it's not about becoming another awakened being, because you're already God, or you're God's grace, but you're really a part of God. I don't want to say you're God, because I think what Ken tries to do in everything he teaches is to really hone on humility. Humility is absolutely gorgeous. If you look at humility, I don't know. What can you say except that person seems so innocent? She doesn't know. And isn't that what we want? We want the innocence of who we are. We don't want to have all these opinions and all these judgments. But yet the habit continues, and it will continue until it doesn't. In the morning walks, I like to listen to things. I listen to whatever I'm prompted to listen to on my walk with my dog. This morning, my phone wasn't working, and I didn't know why. So I thought, well, this is good. I walked in the silence, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was perfect peace. I had very little voice going on. Now, do I have an ego? Well, yeah, I still have an ego, or else I wouldn't even be in this body right now. But the point is, it's not the runner in my life. It's not the first one here that says, listen to me, I know because I'm Sharon. No, it's basically saying, judge not and wait. Because you're not special. You're not a special anything except the specialness of God. And we are all this broken glass. I can just see it like a kaleidoscope. And they're just broken, and we're just coming together as this one sun. and joining in love, because that's all that's here, right? And that's why the Course is so beautiful when it says it's either love or a call for love. And with that, I'm going to drop the mic and give it to Dub. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. And I just want to mention to you, Sharon, I was looking at a list of the 10 most desirable places for anyone to retire in the United States. And would you believe Altoona was right there?
You're kidding.
No, and what they said about it sounds exactly like when you show us the picture of your outdoors. It says, wonderful landscapes and scenery, and the people are very friendly. So I'm happy that you're in a most gorgeous place.
Oh, it is beautiful. It's very organic when it comes to the nature of Altoona. There's not as much commercial here. So you have Plank Road, which is like all the stores, but other than that, you really are like in a very sweet town. But it's a city and it's a town. But I don't know. I got here completely from spirit because I would never have come here. I would be like, what are you talking about? I have family here. That's how I got here. But the family here, I wasn't even, I loved them, but I didn't see them much. And when I ended up coming here, I was so happy to be away from everything.
Yeah.
So thank
Okay.
you.
Even though Philadelphia is a city of brotherly love,
I still love Philly, though. I do.
I
But
think
anyway, I'm going to go close because it's your turn.
I think you found a wonderful place. So moving on, I thought today's lesson was lesson 100 and not 100, 316, because I looked at ACIM gathers the headline, which Lynn puts the day's lesson in every single day. I can always count on it to be accurate. So I thought today's lesson was all gifts I give my brothers are my own. I'll put up the thing. Here it is. All gifts I give my brothers are my own, which is identical to the first of the three lessons of the Holy Spirit. The first of the three lessons, I always like to say, the Holy Spirit doesn't have 365 lessons, only three. And the first is to have, give all to all. So this is the same thing. All gifts I give my brothers are my own. So obviously that is true because we are one, not two. So the ego says, you mean what I give is mine too? That's impossible because if I give it, I don't have it anymore. My brother has it, and I'm going to be a little stingy on giving because I need to keep some for myself. You got to laugh at the stuff, right? I mean, it's just really a cosmic joke. Of course, in a world that's upside down, which this world is, everything is the opposite of the truth. So yesterday I was teaching at Maureen's, and I got a chance to teach on lesson 135, which is called if I defend myself, I'm attacking myself. And as Ken Wapping says, that is the atonement lesson. And I always said, I don't know why he called it the atonement lesson, but that was years ago. I now see why, because you are defending yourself by speaking against the truth. It says, who is it that needs a defense but somebody weak? And somebody weak has no idea what the truth is. So I'm arguing against the truth of the love of God by saying I gotta push the love of God away. That's why I live in fear. And we all know there's only two emotions, love and fear. And where fear is, love cannot coexist or cannot exist. So, I mean, it's such a joke. I mean, what else can you do except in your gentle laughter? You basically are healing yourself because you take anything in this world seriously, anything. You're just out of your mind, out of your gourd, literally. So, with that, uh, I don't know which lesson you were on, Lorri. You mentioned a lesson, but it wasn't the same one that I was talking that I thought was today's lesson.
317.
And 317. Okay, let me look.
That's what
I
Lynn sent
follow
out.
in the way appointed me. Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, Lynn sent that out on email, so I just assumed it was today's.
She sent it out on email, and Lynn, I know you very well, Lynn. You're so good. You mean the 316 you have at the top of the Pal Talk is that correct? Lynn?
Well, as everything else with Pal Talk, apparently it didn't take my change last night either. It is 317 today,
Oh,
and
okay.
the reading is the hero of the dream. I put that in last
Okay.
night, and
So
it's
Pal
showing
Talk,
still.
yeah, Pal Talk wasn't working today. Prudence, who was there faithfully every single day for years and years and years, she couldn't play Ken Wapnick this morning because Pal Talk wasn't working. So you're saying the 316 is from yesterday, huh?
Yeah, it's 317 today, and I changed it last night. So I don't, I mean, I know
Okay.
because
All
I
right.
saw it's the hero of the dream today is the reading. And
I,
so it's still showing the
yeah.
dreamer of the dream from yesterday.
Okay. So I follow in the way appointed. That's true. I don't think you have a choice, by the way. I guess that comes up with another way of looking at things. You know, when it says the script is written, that's the truth. I mean, the things that happen to you that doesn't seem to be for you, well, you know how I feel about that. Be grateful for your triggers, the things that are not for you. And I think that my life has been a script, and I don't think you have any choice except to follow in the way appointed you. It's not that I'm saying I would do it my way. That's part of the script. I'm thinking of my own life. It has always been not easy for me to stay in a place where I'm comfortable with what's coming to me. I always have to kind of scratch and save and do and this and that in order to have. I guess that was the lesson I came here to learn. Hey, listen, brother, exactly what we just said. What I give, my brother belongs to me. All the gifts I give my brother. So somewhere in my early life, I guess I wasn't giving my brothers anything because that's what I was getting back. Now, all of a sudden, as I enter the twilight of my life, things are coming to me so easily. And I was just thinking about it. I think it was just yesterday. I said, you know, the script is written. You know, I mean, you can claw or dig or try or all those things the ego has to do in order to get, or it's all given to you, and I guess exactly what Dove has on his card, be grateful for your triggers. Yeah, because those are just lessons that we all come to learn. The only purpose for being here in this world, as Jesus sees it, is to learn lessons. All things are lessons God would have me learn. And I had to go through whatever I went through in order to learn the lessons, so I can kind of smile and in your gentle laughter say, hey, that was my script, baby. That's it. I am complete. Thanks.
Thank you, Dove. I liked what you had to say about lesson 135, about how we defend against the truth. And I keep forgetting that you say, and that Ken said, that lesson 135 is the atonement lesson. We defend against the truth. And I noticed that too the other day, where it was Saturday morning or something, and I hadn't gotten dressed. If I don't have any plans outside, I don't get dressed until 2 o'clock. But I found myself justifying, like, well, I've done this and I've done this and I've done this and I've done this morning. And I caught it. And I thought, that's how I used to live all the time, always justifying, well, I'm being productive. I'm doing stuff. Like, who cares? Who cares? And that lesson is so good about not making plans and only following the plans that are given to us by a wisdom that's not our own. And I also appreciated what you said about the script is written, because that ties right in with what you were saying, Sharon, about just watching the burning mouth, watching it and not blaming yourself, because it arises. These things arise. And that's where chapter 21, section 2, responsibility for sight, comes in. And it is often misinterpreted. So that line that we're all familiar with is, or that paragraph is, I am responsible for what I see. I choose the feelings I would experience, and I decide upon the goal that I would achieve. And everything that seems to happen to me, I ask for and receive as I have asked. So that last line is what makes people feel like they're to blame. Well, I made myself sick. Well, in one sense, yes, but in another sense, no, and there is no blame. One sense, yes, because if we are not in creation, we are in survival, and ego is all about survival and striving and trying to make ends meet. And if we're in that thought system, icky things are going to happen. But when the Course says our only choice is between two thought systems, we are either looking at it with the ego or looking at it with the Holy Spirit. The minute you watch it with the Holy Spirit, you're in peace. And there's the miracle. And so I am responsible for what I see. You're not responsible for the physical illnesses in the sense that, oh, I made it, so I have to fix it. You're responsible for whether you see it with the ego or you see it with the Holy Spirit. That's what you're responsible for. And that was exactly what you were talking about, Sharon. I thought was just a great example, because you're not Sharon who has burning mouth right now. You are the holy child of God. And when you are in that place, watching it and looking at it from your true self, that's what you're responsible for. And that's the only thing that we have choice about. You said it, Dove, things happen, and, we can't predict what's going to happen in the world, but we can choose who we look at it with. And if we look at it with the Holy Spirit, we will forgive, and we will know that we're looking at a movie, and sometimes it's a nightmare. And other times, or it says a horror movie, or we're looking at a dream, and sometimes it seems like a blissful dream, and other times it seems like a nightmare. But we know that we're watching it with the Holy Spirit, and we keep coming back to our true identity. And that is where freedom and peace lie. And I like, Bob, what you had said on the chat board. We are like two fleas fighting over who owns the dog they are riding on. That's just so good. And then let's see, I wanted to say hello to Glorian came in the room, and I think Cher might have come in the room. It just said iPhone. So I'm not sure if that's Cher or not. I haven't seen Cher in a while. Um,
Yes, it is Sharon.
oh, good. Okay. Hi, Cher.
Sharon, how are you, love?
I've missed you.
We miss you here at ACIM Gather.
There you are. Hi, Cher. And we do have our Sunday night, this Sunday night. I hope you can make it. So
I will try.
yeah. I missed you last time
I
too.
know. On the last one, I just completely forget. If someone doesn't remind me, I just forget. That's all.
Hmm. Okay. So and also Sharon, you said, we don't want opinions and judgments because they feel bad. And lately I've noticed when I jump in with an opinion, it's like, ew, yeah, that's just a personal opinion. That doesn't feel good. I think I'll go back to neutral. And that feels so much better. So, in continuing with lesson 317, it reads, I have a special place to fill, a role for me alone. Salvation waits until I take this part as what I choose to do. Until I make this choice, I am the slave of time and human destiny. But when I willingly and gladly go the way my Father's plan appointed me to go, then will I recognize salvation is already here, already given all my brothers, and already mine as well. And so the next paragraph reads, Father, your way is what I choose today. And that's that choice that we have to make ultimately. And lesson 138 is heaven is the choice I must make. And we all ultimately make that one. And so lately, when I've been praying for people, but I've been doing this for a long time, I see the Christ in them. I just say, I know who you are. I know what you are. And I've been much more vigilant about not feeling sorry for people or not feeling bad about the situations they appear to be in, because that doesn't help anyone. Doesn't help them, doesn't help me, because then I'm believing in the illusion. Just keep holding the Christ. Just keep holding it, holding it, holding it. And there's a heart from Mickey, and I'm going to turn this back over to you, Sharon.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're in a place now, I guess all of us, where, the illusion is not mesmerizing anymore. It's just not catching. There's just shifts that happen, and they're subtle shifts, but they just happen, and they happen on their own just from spirit. But, as far as having an illness and all, that's all I would do is focus on Sharon. How am I going to get Sharon better? And, I think it's so important for me to just look at Sharon rather than try to get her better. Just watch her. Because when you watch her, you're no longer you're in the right seat. You're in the seat of the soul. When you become that guide where you can just look and judge not, right? So Penn says, salvation waits until I take the part as what I choose to do. Until I make this choice, I am the slave of time and human destiny. The time is just a concept. Time, we're really in timelessness. The thinking mind is glued to the clock. And we think, well, now we're in this period and that period, but there's only been one moment that we've been practicing this course. So he says it's our choice and no one else's. Once again, our only role is to forgive. Now, the way I see forgiveness now is it's just an organic process. Like, for instance, I, in the beginning, would write down, I forgive this one, I forgive that one, I forgive that one. And then I did Dietrich's work, and still I like his work too, the 6 steps. But you don't need all that because it just happens through us. And so when we see that it's happening through us, forgiveness just happens. It's like, why would I even bother to judge that? I'm not saying that, what's going on in the world looks good. It looks insane. But it's insane. Insanity is all what the ego thought system is. It's just one big and insane thought system. It has no like, it's chaos. and that's the problem. It's chaos. It's not this one said this and this one said that, and look what he said and he said and made it. Mm-mm. It's easier to just say, Father, your way is what I choose today. This is yet another reference to the closing prayer in 189. Father, we do not know the way to you. Now, that's the funny part about it, is because the way to Father is right here. There's no way. You don't have to go anywhere. This is truly a journey without distance. But what I think is really the denial, when the Course says, would you like to see what you denied? We are looking at this awareness, love's awareness, throughout our whole life. And there's something about this beautiful love that always catches us, even when we don't know. Forgiveness is right here. It's just a total joining of oneness, and all it is a reflection, because we haven't left heaven. Heaven is now, heaven is here, heaven is perfect, right? So the reason that I think most of us want so much, like, I love the Ho'oponopono, I do that too, and that's just making amends to the child within. The child within, which is what we are. That child within that believed this was real. And then saying to that little child, listen, none of this was real. It was all made up, and you've been safe your whole life. And the ego will calm down. That's what I see happening anyway. It doesn't have the same bite. It's not that, ridiculous, like, I want it this way. I want thus. I want thus. So it's the world arose from the belief we had indeed wandered from God's loving arms. And we never did. And, if you look like, well, the time that I think I was here, I don't believe I was even here, because I'm not. This is a recording. So what's here is just presence. And the recording is just a DVD or a Netflix or whatever you want to call it. But, I think that the attachment to the character is a habit. It's just a habit. Because you're every character. You're not just one character. You're all characters. You're the dog, you're the cat, you're this, you're that. So, I think just to focus on your being. And it's funny because the ego started to bark this morning when I didn't have my music to go on my walk. Music, or I listened to some kind of course lesson or whatever. And it was like, no, who I am doesn't listen. Well, it looks and it doesn't judge, and it is listening, but it knows it's just gibberish, because it's the stillness, it's the quiet, it's this totality of just joining. God would surely have destroyed us, we thought. Jesus tells us, however, that we are not sinful, but we did indeed make a mistaken choice, reflecting the well-known line from the text, Son of God, you have not sinned, but you have been much mistaken. And all of that has to do basically with the fact that we are not separate. Separation is the one thing that will always keep us in hell. Because if you think you're a body and just this body, then you are vulnerable. If I believe that the body is invulnerable and I'm going to have this invulnerable body, I'm in a crazy movie, because the body could never be invulnerable. The body is vulnerable to everything. But who we are, this oneness, this reflection of total joining of deep peace, now that's something different. So would I say that everybody here is God? Well, everybody here is souls. So if you want to say souls or God, it's the same thing. But the Creator did make us. We didn't make ourselves. So we want to give that back to the Father, and to just be in a place where the present moment is the only moment that there really is. and that love is all there is. And, just to look at our ideas, or for me to look at my ideas, that they were just these ideas. Like I see them now as I wanted it my way. That was my father's favorite song, My Way. Spoken like a true ego. And, he played that a lot. Oh, I did it my way. And boy, did he had a reflection of ego. But again, I was projecting him, so whatever. But, it's just so interesting because there is only one way, and that's God's way. And over to you, Doug. There's not much more for me to say except happy Thursday. And I'm going to be here to listen to everybody. So that's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Wow. I don't know where we're going with all this. I for one, I think Glorian is still here. I for one would love to see Glorian included in the Sunday night meeting. I really would. She is so good. And I don't understand when it says we talk about personal things. We talk about personal things everywhere. I mean, this hour that we're all together, I'm talking about my personal things. I think I hear Sharon talking about her personal things. I don't understand that someone can be excluded from this group.
Who said what? I don't know what you're talking about. I've lost that.
I was talking to Lorri.
Oh, I can explain. We tried to open the group and it just changed everything. We tried several different things when I didn't want to host it anymore. And it's more like just like a group of friends going out to the bar. It's a bunch of us that have known each other for a while, and it just didn't work when we opened it up to a whole bunch of people. It just totally changed the feel of the meeting. And it's not, I mean, I love everything Glorian says. I think Glorian's an amazing teacher. It's not even about that. It's not about anyone's personality so much as the small group feel where we've just known each other for a couple of years. So it's not, it's not about excluding people.
Okay. I understand that, Lorri. I do understand what you said. And I was there when you did try to bring it to ACIM gather. I was there, and then I understand that certain people didn't feel comfortable, and I understand that. And then we went back to your hosting, and I understand that. I'm just saying, look, I'm a part of the group. I'm sure you would agree with that. I would like to invite Glorian into the group. I don't see anything wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it changes the flavor of a group. For me, it's like when I go out with a girlfriend and it's one-on-one and we have coffee, when you have a third person, it completely changes the whole feel of everything. And so it's not a personal thing. And
Okay.
I started the group back in 2021 in order to keep in touch with Jack Johnson from Mexico, because he and I are really good buds. And so that was the whole purpose of the group, was to maintain contact with him. And so it just, everything changed. So it's not really even like a course meeting. It's almost me getting together with Jack.
Okay. I hear everything you say, Lorri, and I'm open to anything and everything, but I do notice I was out with Laura. I know you know Laura, she's my daughter-in-law. And she asked me, she said, did you go to the group last Sunday or whatever? And I said, no, I forgot. And she said, and she asked me, now Laura, I understand is welcome in the group because you know her, because you know her. Miss Cher, who's right here right now, was also welcomed into the group. Why? Because I don't know why, because we know her, I guess. I know Glorian very well. I would like to invite her into the group. When you say it changes the flavor,
Claire, Telegram audio.
I'm saying, am I listening to someone who's doing A Course in Miracles? You're not changing the flavor at all. It's all the same. We are one, not two. I mean, why am I talking about the Course in Miracles when, as a matter of fact, you know, there's nothing I can say about the Course in Miracles other than we are all one. Excuse me, I think the picture here says, all gifts I give my brothers are my own, lesson 316. Doesn't that mean I like to invite my friends to my home? Doesn't that mean that? Aren't we all in the same home? Aren't we all in the same place? Aren't we all in the same mind? I don't understand. It changes the flavor.
Well, that's not what it's about. And it's not a course meeting per se. It's just a bunch of friends getting together. So
I guess that's why I don't come, Lorri.
Well,
to be very honest with you,
Okay.
there's no interest for me to just gather with friends to talk about our thing.
Okay,
There's no
so if you're not coming because of that reason, then that just shows that it's
That's
not.
what this morning is, talking about our thing. That's what this hour is.
Yeah.
And it's on YouTube. No, it's on YouTube. And then the whole world can see it. I don't understand this private thing.
Laura joined and
we're just a bunch of friends and we
Laura
don't want to change the flavor. I don't understand that.
Laura never comes, and so I changed the invitation because Sharon never comes. When we were opening it up for a while there were more people coming. So then they stopped coming. So now I've taken them off the link list. But Cher keeps coming, and Cher has always come. And if you just said that you don't come because it's not like the course meeting, that's it. It's not like the course meeting. It's just
I did not say I don't come because it's not like the course meeting. Those were not my words.
Okay.
I said I don't understand why I can't invite a very good friend into the meeting.
Because, Dove, you were doing that and you kept inviting people, and I had
Hello. When is the last time I invited anybody? Ever?
Dove, it's not like we have ACIM gathered.
You're talking about 1 year ago.
Hello, do you guys realize that we are live on YouTube?
When you gave up hosting, and I said ACIM gather Zoom would be very open and welcome to have the meeting at ACIM gather. And we all know, I'm not going to start talking what was said. I don't feel comfortable at ACIM gather, so you went back to having your meeting privately again. And I said at that time, I said, I don't really believe that they are Course in Miracles people saying that. I really don't. But I stayed, and it's been about a year. And the only thing that came up this morning is Gloria picked up that there's a meeting on Sunday night, and she asked about it. And I'm looking at the chat, and this is what the chat says. Lynn says Lorri has a meeting, and Mickey says at 7 p.m. here, and then Gloria says, "Oh, okay, open meeting." And then Lorri says it's not an open meeting because we're like a little family and we do a lot of personal sharing. It's not like an ACIM meeting where we read the book and talk about the principles. Excuse me. In this hour that we do every single Thursday on Thankful Thursday, do you see anybody reading a book and talking about the principles of A Course in Miracles? No, we talk about our lives. I'm complete.
All right. I would just like to ask, I honestly, am not very comfortable with the conversation because it appears that, we're talking about excluding people or feeling excluded or feeling left out, which is nobody's purpose ever. I can't imagine that it would be Lori's purpose to leave people out, just like it's not our purpose to leave people out. The thing is that we're all here together. Yes, exactly. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Thank you. I love you. That's it. Let's just, get back to uh, the truth of what we are and not worrying about who gets invited to the party and who doesn't. I don't, I've been not invited to many parties. And yes, I felt bad about it. But then I realized that, you know, I don't want to go to that party anyway. That's what I realized about that group. Once I got started with them, I'm like, I'm not interested in anything that we're talking about here. And that's why I left. I don't see any purpose in staying where I don't feel uh uh not welcome, because it wasn't that I didn't feel welcome. I just felt like people were not as comfortable when there were folks in there that were not part of their original group, because they were so intimate and personal. When you have a group of people who are private and intimate and personal, and you start bringing people in, uh, it's like, you're having surgery at a teaching hospital, and they bring in 15 med students to watch your pelvic exam. This is not, I mean, I'm trying to think of the most personal thing you could have, where people are coming in who were not uh, uh, originally part of the group, don't know what the group is about, and then the flavor of the group changes. I can see wanting to protect what I have already. So and Robert says if we're supposed to be in all places, we would be. Where we are where we're supposed to be right now. So I don't I did I blame Lori? Did I blame Jack? Did I blame anybody for people not feeling comfortable? No. People didn't feel comfortable. We realized it was a mistake and we let it go. And that's all I'm saying. Let's just recognize that, any attempt to exclude or make people feel guilty for the possibility that they've excluded, that's not what we're here for. That's not what we're here for. Yes, Duff, please go ahead.
Okay, I'm looking at like Robert just posted. We're all supposed to be in all places that we would be. We are where we are supposed to be now. That, believe it or not, I started this whole thing with the script is written. This is the script. In other words, there's no accident that this is coming up at this meeting. Because 1 year ago, when we attempted to come together and there was people who said they were uncomfortable, we then went back to your hosting, which is wonderful, by the way. And I guess at that time, I never said anything. I certainly didn't say anything to the people that gathered, because I certainly didn't want to express what I heard at the time, because Dove is a peacemaker. He's always been a peacemaker. I don't look to start trouble at all, ever. But I've noticed on Sunday nights, the reason I forget is there's no interest in it. I mean, obviously, on Thankful Thursday, I don't forget Thankful Thursday at 8:30. Of course, I'm here because I'm very interested in it. But why do I have no interest on Sunday night? I'm part of the, excuse the expression, we're a little family. I don't understand that in content, in the context of A Course in Miracles. We're a little family. I don't understand that. We are one family. Yes, I understand that. Like, I have a Facebook group called ACIM Family, and Dakini, who now is kind of managing it, she doesn't allow anybody to post anything other than ACIM. But everyone here is ACIM. I don't understand little family apart from ACIM. Lorri, do you want to answer?
No, because I'm not going to argue it, and I've already explained my position.
Okay, very good. Enough said. Done. You're away. I would still like to invite Gloria, since she showed interest. Nikki showed interest. I don't see nothing wrong with inviting people that we know. If
Well,
someone's not interested on Sunday night, they shouldn't come. If someone has interest, at least invite them to share for one evening and see what happens. I don't understand not inviting somebody.
well, I think, Dove, I just have to say, you already said you're not interested. So why are you inviting people to come where you're not
Excuse
interested?
me. Oh, no. I'm not interested in separation. I'm not comfortable when I can't invite Gloria or Mickey or anyone I want without people saying, well, we're not comfortable. I mean, Lynn, that is I don't know, was Lynn talking to Lorri, but that's called separation. According to Jesus and A Course in Miracles, that's the only sin that there is. Nothing else is a sin except separation. I would understand it if we're talking about inviting somebody who knows nothing about A Course in Miracles and they keep asking stupid, silly questions. I understand that. I am complete.
All right, you guys. Well, this has been an interesting morning, and I think it's our time is up here. It's a time for Zoma, and I just want to thank everybody for coming in and sharing your hearts with us. And yes, I too, Dove, I don't like to go where other people are not invited either. And in fact, I won't go where other people are not invited. Uh, so. But that's me. I don't care about the rest of it. You can have who you want at your meetings. There's a lot of meetings I'm not invited to, or I may be invited, but I don't go to because I'm not interested. So, but I'm not going to ask somebody else to come if I'm not interested. And I think that's, that, the flavor of it. I think it's a flavor thing. And some people like vanilla and some people like chocolate and some people like uh strawberry. I do. But that doesn't mean that, it's wrong for other people to like what they like. So anyway, thanks you guys so much. Interesting morning, folks out there on YouTube. This is quite unusual. We haven't had any kind of discussion like this for a long time
No,
in ACIM
no.
gather. But it's okay because we need to get, this stuff
Right.
cleared up. We don't want people having uh uh grievances for sure. And we want everybody to feel welcome. Yeah, go ahead, Dove. I'm gonna go ahead and
All
close.
right. I know it's Zuma's hour coming up, and I just want to say, Lorri, you just wrote on the chat something that I guess I would never believe you would say something like this. Dove, start your own meeting on a Sunday night. You're wanting this your way as much as I want it mine. I don't think that there's such a thing as your way and my way. I really don't. If you're open to seeing how it could work out, I think that that's called acceptance. Acceptance is my willingness to see how it works out. I understand if somebody comes and they are a pest and they are a bother and they ask too many questions. I understand that. But the people that I'm talking about, at first I was only talking about Gloria. she's a welcome addition to every meeting that I've ever attended. I see Mickey has interest. So willingness is everything. Am I willing to see how somebody fits into the group? Gather has always not only said, please come to the group, but invited people to teach.
Yeah, and that's true. That's absolutely true. And that's why Gather is different than any other group.
That's my
There's not a
nature.
single other
To
group I
invite
have ever
people
been
and
with.
to accept people exactly the way they are, not
Yeah.
to say they don't fit in.
Yeah, I understand that. Thank you, Dove. I love you, brother. I do. I just, I think this is something that we need to look at. So thank you for bringing it up. I don't think that there's anything wrong with having this discussion, and I appreciate